What the Flick, everybody. Ben Mankiewicz, Christy Lemire, and Alonso Duralde. The film. Bill Murray playing FDR, as I always said would happen.
It does sound weird, doesn't it?
It does seem weird.
But it works out
He's good, yeah, but it does seem weird. I actually haven't seen the film, so I'll make that clear.
He's good. Have you watched?
No, I mean he's good.
Right.
Bill Murray's
In
good.
general.
Like he's a good actor.
Definitely,
I didn't write. That's why I made that exception. But you guys have seen it, and I love FDR, so I'm sticking around.
Will you just toss out FDR trivia as you see fit?
Sure. I'll just throw that in. So Alonso.
So Hyde Park on Hudson is based on a memoir of a fifth cousin of FDR who was close to the president, shall we say. And this is about her time spent with him in his palatial upstate New York, home, and it mainly focuses on the visit of the British royals on the eve of World War II. So in a way, it's kind of the sequel to the King's Speech. Take a look.
The president wishes to see me.
I'd been invited to visit with Franklin at his home in Hyde Park.
Daisy, what a rare treat.
His mother said he needed to take his mind off his work and the pressures of being the president.
So here's a really dumb question. If you're fucking your fifth cousin, is that incest?
No, your fifth cousin?
It's okay? I don't know.
No.
I don't think I have fifth cousins.
I would nail my fifth cousin in a heartbeat. Third cousin.
If you get a little drunk at Hanukkah or whatever.
Totally.
Like second cousins, you don't even need permission to marry.
Right, that's right. You can go ahead and you can bang your second cousin.
Good to know.
Yeah, that's why it's a great country.
So the idea of casting Bill Murray as FDR sounds kind of strange, but in retrospect, it's maybe the best part of the entire movie because this movie is really dull. And just too innocuous.
I didn't even really love Bill Murray. Like, I didn't hate Bill Murray. I don't think he embarrassed himself, but it was never like, I mean, let's face it, we just saw Daniel Day-Lewis do Abraham Lincoln, and that's like a fucking kick-ass performance. And so, by comparison, it's sort of like, I never forgot that I was watching Bill Murray, like, with the cigarette holder and the spectacles and the martini shaker. He's fine. He doesn't embarrass himself, but it's not like this extraordinary performance that from an unexpected source.
Yeah, and I don't think they're trying to make any kind of like comprehensive historical epic. I mean, this may not necessarily even be FDR. This could be just some nice older gentleman in a wheelchair who likes his cigarettes and his martinis and has a little
Roman hands.
posse of women. What's a huge waste here, though, is Laura Linney, who is great in everything, and her character is so mousy and so quiet. And the problem is that she's our conduit.
Yeah.
So we need to care about her before we can care about everything that happens here, and it's impossible to do that.
Well, first of all, she's not great in Mystic River. She's
like Lady Macbeth in Mystic River. She gives that awesome speech at the end.
Yeah, I know, and it was terrible. But anyway, that aside, no, you're right. I was reminded more than once of me with my week with Marilyn. Remember, where you wanted the movie to be about Marilyn and not about the
boring guy.
Not about the British guy who wants to be a movie producer. It's like, can we get back to Marilyn Monroe, please? It's sort of like, so there's way too much, of Laura Linney's total dishwater nothing character and not enough of the good stuff. And really, for me, the movie doesn't pick up until
the King
George
arrive.
and the Queen arrive, and I did not think I wanted a sequel to the King's Speech, but they're the most compelling characters in the movie for me. I thought their whole thing of having to sort of come groveling to the United States for help in this impending war, and just the sort of clash between their standards and America, and like, oh, we have to eat hot dogs and all that stuff. That I thought was the most entertaining stuff, and I liked the performances by Olivia Colman and
Samuel
something.
West.
But let me ask you, how was
royal.
his stammering without Jeffrey Rush there?
Yeah, right.
It does kick in occasionally. At one point she yells, "Stop stuttering!"
Samuel West.
Yes.
They for me made the movie.
But they play a lot of the royals' visit as this kind of wacky farce, like this wacky culture clash. Again, the hot dog, it's a very, very phallic movie in a lot of ways, which we'll get to later. But they play this whole hot dog thing as if, world relations depended on it. And at one point, Laura Linney has to spread mustard on the king's hot dog. It is literally, it's an actual condiment on a piece of food, but it's not subtle.
I think that more often than not, matters of world importance do come down to the hot dog.
They don't want to go to a picnic,
something
do they?
stupid like that.
Because we need to talk about the hand job. Because
we have, the hand job on Hudson, as Dave has been calling this movie. The movie establishes the point from which the relationship between fifth cousins Laura Linney and Bill Murray go from being platonic to more physical. They go on this lovely drive out into the country, and then he makes the police escort go away, and they go to this beautiful field with this stunning view of, like little purple flowers and everything. And he grasps her hand, and then he moves her hand to his thigh, and then it's cut to their faces, and they're looking at each other, and you see her arm move, and then the car starts jostling, and then there's a long shot of the car, and Bill Murray's doing like this. I'm like, what is going on here?
It's so uncomfortable, and like the whole movie changes from there, and then afterward they're sort of like, oh, okay, well that happened.
It's sort of simultaneously coy and crude at the same time. It's the strangest scene.
So, but is it good or bad, that scene? Then
It's
I can't
odd,
quite.
and it's
jarring.
It's very jarring because the whole thing is so like delightful and whimsical and lighthearted.
Up
and
until
then
then, it has been a total like Sunday afternoon old lady matinee, kind
And
of
then the
movie
hand
with
job
tea
comes.
sets, and then suddenly there's a handy. You're like, wow, okay.
So warn your grandparents if they want to go see it.
I am gonna send my mom to this movie.
Oh my God, how's she gonna
This movie
react?
should be rated HJ.
How would she react?
Why do you say? Oh, HJ. By the way, my mother's maiden name, Holly Jolly.
How would your mom react? What'd she think?
She'd walk out.
Oh.
Yeah, she'll want to see a handy.
No.
Yeah.
So you're not going to warn her?
No.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's good. Mom, you should definitely see Hyde Park and Hudson. Oh, you'll love it.
Yeah. And there's like this wall-to-wall voiceover from Laura Linney where she spells out everything that's clearly happening on screen.
Really awful narrating, and the great Eleanor Braun as her aunt, who gets like 3 lines. I was like, why are you putting this awesome actress in a movie and then giving her nothing to do? But then, of course, that's what they do to Laura Linney, so there's a lot of that going around.
Yeah, and it's very tasteful production design and the clothes
Yeah,
and the interior.
Yeah, if you're one of those people that loves to see period movies for all the period stuff, there's lots of period stuff. There's
the telephone on the wall.
stately homes and China sets and
Roger
whatever.
Michelle directed this. We should mention Roger Michelle.
Roger Michelle directed it, and I don't know what he was thinking half the time.
Yeah, it's weird.
You want some FDR trivia?
Please.
I think he was basically the first president to go to Camp David, which was not called Camp David then, because that's named for
David Eisenhower.
David Eisenhower. It was called Shangri-La when FDR went. All right, what are your numbers
I don't
on it?
remember. What's my number? Tell me. It was
I
something
gave it a
low.
4.2.
I'll give it. Yeah, I give it a 3.8.
Yeah, so it's a solid 4 for Hyde Park on the Hudson.
And it's like 41% in Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that pops up in award season. You're like, huh, and then you'll never hear about it.
So do you
again.
think? But no,
God, no.
no nominations coming
No.
out of it.
No.